eyes will be on the president of the country, President Cyril Ramaphosa, as he is expected to deliver the State of the Nation address. And part of those are young people who are still looking for job opportunities in the country, with the unemployment now standing at 31.9%, and in the Free State being one of the provinces with high rate of unemployment, standing there at 36.2%. Of course, this is excluding those who have already given up at looking for jobs here. But I'm standing with one of the young people. She is a doctor, and recently they have taken their concerns to the Department of Health, raising concerns among others to the effect that there are still many doctors who are qualified, ready to assist in terms of services in the department, but it seems that many of those posts are not being advertised. But I'm going to talk to her just about the expectations ahead of that State of the Nation address. Her name is Palisa Mokoena. Thank you very much for joining us. Of course, there are higher expectations ahead of the State of the Nation address. You are a doctor. You are looking for jobs. Talk to us about those concerns that you have that you would like President to touch on.
I think one of the most important things that I think affects the whole of South Africa is with regards to the health infrastructure as it is in our country. We all know that we are quite unhappy with how things are standing. So we were hoping that the President would touch on that and then give us some indication as to whether or not funds will be allocated, not just to the employment of young doctors, but also to the improvement of infrastructure as a whole in the health department. It is very important to note that unemployment is not just affecting doctors. It is across the board, with nurses and pharmacists and many other healthcare practitioners also being affected by this. We know that the annual performance report that was released last year by the Free State itself noted that there is a 34% vacancy rate for medical posts, as well as a 31% vacancy rate for specialist posts, which is very, very disparaging when you think about the fact that some people are still not getting access to adequate health care.
So at some point you have taken the matter, or rather marched to the Department of Health, raising some of these concerns. What are the answers that they are giving you? Because if the vacancy is that high, it means that there are many opportunities for you guys who have qualified, who have already completed the community service, that you can come in and work.
So the department, I think at this point, is also just trying to keep itself ahead by telling us that there will be posts released. We were quite hopeful when they said that to us. We had expected that they would have been released quite a long time ago, in accordance with the meeting that we had with some of the representatives from Bophelo House. However, as of now, we have only seen about 16 posts being released in the Free State, particularly, as I speak specifically for the Free State. And we are still hopeful that they will come and show us that what they discussed with us at that meeting is in fact something that they plan on implementing and coming through for us in that regard.
So tonight, President is expected to address us, of course, as the nation. What would you like him to touch on? What are those areas that are very significant that he shouldn't miss?
I hope that when doctors are marching and when healthcare workers are marching to say that we are unemployed, it is not met with the same indignation that it is often, because sometimes we are met with the notion that we should go into private and that we should be standing on our own, and that the department doesn't necessarily have an obligation towards us. And to this, I would like to say that if your obligation is not towards us, then please remember that you are a public servant. Your obligation is towards your constituents who voted you into power, and they all deserve quality health care that you can only achieve if you fill these staff shortages that are present at these hospitals.
What would be just one thing that you would like him to touch on, as you have indicated your challenges and how you would like, of course, when you raise these concerns, not for them to be undermined? What is one thing that you would like the President to actually say or do to, of course, cover all of these issues?
I would appreciate it, and I think a lot of my colleagues would also appreciate it, if he adequately committed himself to saying that he is allocating funds towards healthcare and that some of those funds are specifically aimed at employing post-ComServe doctors, post-ComServe nurses, as well as pharmacists and all of that us out here who are struggling and so badly want to see the health sector actually improving. Because at the end of the day, we are the ones who are on the ground, we are the face of the problem, and we would really, really like to just be able to say that we can see that he is trying and he is saying that he is committed towards helping us.
Thank you very much. That is Palisa Mukwena. They're just talking to us about their expectation, as is one of the young doctors here in the Free State who have really raised concerns with regards to them not being employed, even though there's a very high rate of vacancies in the Department of Health. Of course, making that appeal to the president of the country to at least allocate funds and also pay attention to issues of infrastructure in health facilities across the country and specifically, of course, here in the Free State. So those are the expectations, of course, ahead of the State of the Nation address. With that, is back to